to this. Okay, there we go. Now we cooking with gas. All right, let me go back and share my screen and let's get started. I've been filming a new show that's called Meet Me in the Boardroom, where Kingdom Principles empower entrepreneurs. And so I came right off of Zonti, right into filming actually 9 episodes of a new show. So it's been crazy for me, y'all. But at any rate, we want to talk about monetizing your brand, because I think that people don't really realize that your brand does really matter, and that it's worth something. Sometimes I think we think it's the product only, but it's the product and you, or it's the service and you. So I'd like to welcome everybody. And in the chat function, please put in your first, last name, email address, and if you could just tell me who invited you, because we want to give them honor and an appreciation for inviting you. So thank you for being here. All right. Here's our agenda for Monetize Your Brand. We're going to talk about what is a brand and why it matters. We're going to talk about the power of brand extension, because I'm a believer in that. Listen, you don't have to build everything, and you don't have to be here by yourself. I'm going to talk about exposure versus conversion. We're going to talk a little bit about the digital highway, and then 7 ways that you could extend your brand. Okay, so let's talk about it. We're in a digital society that requires really a different mindset. You cannot be in business today and have the same mindset that you had 10 years ago. That probably ain't gonna work for you. So I'm gonna give you an example. About 12 years ago, I think it's probably 10, 12 years ago, becoming a best-selling author on Amazon was a big deal. And the people that became a best-selling author actually got paid more on stage. They were invited to speak more. They were able to sell from stage, so they could sell their books on stage. They could negotiate to have everybody that attends get a book and the company pay for it. There was just a lot of bonuses to it, right? But now, here we are 12 years later. Becoming a best-selling author ain't so sexy as it was 12 years ago. Why? Because everybody knows how to become a best-selling author. We done figured out the formula for success. We know what the recipe is. If y'all want to know the recipe, you can ask me in your one-on-ones. There's a recipe to become a best-selling author. We all know it now. So best-selling authors is like every hour on the hour, we're getting another best-selling author, right? So now you got to figure out, how do I navigate this digital landscape beyond becoming a best-selling author, right? And so becoming like a TV producer, I'm just going to talk about that, is really equivalent to becoming a best-selling author 10 or 12 years ago. The only difference is you don't have to do anything, and you're able to adopt that we are a multiple international award-winning TV network. And you get to talk about that for your show. So you got to figure out how to navigate this landscape. Now, listen, I'm just going to tell you that social media is saturated. I don't need to read the numbers. It's saturated, y'all. It takes, I used to remember when I first started that I would make a video or go live, and I would have 1,000 people that saw me in 24 to 48 hours. Well, now that the algorithms have changed, it doesn't work like that anymore. You got to like, you got to comment, you got to blah, blah, you got the same people, it's got to be same number of people. It's a lot to the algorithm. So now if you get 3 or 4, or maybe even 500 views on a video, you're doing good. You're excelling. But that's because the market is saturated, and we can thank the pandemic for that. Now let's talk about Google. I call Google the source of truth when it comes to a digital highway. When Google first started, I was in the Bay Area and I worked for Intel. When Google started, there was nothing but one page on Google. The font was probably 18 or 20 in size. And it was nothing but news. That's all it was, just news. Now today, if you look at Google, Google has news, images, videos, so many other things, right? It's in categories, and the font is no longer 20. It's down to a normal size font because there's so much data out there on the digital highway that they're pulling in everything. Sometimes I go to Google and I go like, ooh, when did they get that picture? Or when did they get that video? How did, they're tracking everything. So they're really the source of truth, to the point that 8.5 plus billion Google searches are performed daily. And so my question is always, how many of those Google searches are you showing up in? A lot of times we set our SEO when we build our website, and we never go back and do anything about SEO after our website is built. You got to have current hashtags. You got this, everything. It's so much to it. So Google is also very saturated market, but everybody goes to Google for the source of truth. Most people, I know, they go and look, well, who is Zandra Evans, right? People like to think that I have the first 20 pages or 25 pages of Google simply because my name is Zandra. That is not the truth. It is because I fed Google what they love. They love content. And so a lot of videos, a lot of press releases, a lot of magazine articles, all of those things is what really sets you apart in Google. And then last but not least, internet videos account for 82% of the internet traffic. Now that's crazy to me. When you think about 82%, if you don't get involved in creating videos more than just this, you need videos that are professionally done for you that can be translated. And so again, you just got to figure out, is your brand lost in the wilderness? Because I kind of think your brand might be lost in the wilderness, and you're wondering why you're not scaling and growing your business. You got to be on every digital highway. Now, here's the thing about brand identity. I think people are confused about their brand. We want to say, oh, I need a website. I need a logo. I love purple. It's royalty. I want this. I want that. We have all of these requests when it comes to a website. And what I'm trying to tell you is nobody, when I tell you nobody buys from a website, people buy because of you. You are the brand. If you don't know that, you do just what I just talked about. I got a logo. What is my design? How am I going to create customer loyalty? You ain't even got no customer yet. Most people ain't even looking at a whole website. That's why landing pages are more effective today. So you got to really shift your mindset and get with the times, right? But you got to know that you are the real brand. You are, and you own your brand. You are your own brand, y'all. You own it. People, I hear business owners all the time. Oh, I like to be in the background. Really? Because you need to be in the forefront. Why do you need to be in the forefront? Because people identify with you and your story, but you got to be willing to tell your story on platforms where people can really see you. But you are your own brand. Now, let's talk about what your brand matters. And these are just a few reasons. Because it builds recognition and differentiation. Listen, there are no two Zandras. Although I'm going to be showing y'all something in the next few weeks where you're going to think I got a twin. AI will allow you to do some things that really, really can differentiate you in the market and also work for you while you're sleeping. I'm going to show you how to do that. You can establish trust and credibility, but you only do that through this right here, looking into the eyes, which is the window of my soul. That's how we establish credibility, not with a website. We establish credibility and trust by what we say and what we do. We create emotional connections because your brand really does matter. It drives customer loyalty. It increases your business value. And it's a simplified marketing effort. One of the things that I tell people is that let me talk to you about. Do y'all know how many coaches is out here? A gazillion? Is it a gazillion? I'm a coach myself. And I tried to separate myself when I was coaching. I'm a self-investment strategist. And then I had to explain that. Oh, I wrote a book on, the power of investing in you. You're the most valuable. I say you're the resource, you're the brand. It's you. But I tried to separate myself by saying self-investment strategist. But really, y'all, I was just a coach. But the thing that separates you is your brand, not whether or not you have blonde hair. Yeah, that ain't it. It ain't whether or not, you got on show makeup every day. It's about your brand showing up and serving the world, the authentic you, consistently over and over again, right? It supports your business growth. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do everything, right? You're going to show up and do some things, and other people are going to do other things for you. And like I told you, I'm going to show that to you in the next few weeks. It'll be on social media. Now, there's 7 ways to extend your brand. And I'm not going to read these, but I'm going to pick out a couple that I think are really important. Number 1 for me is partner with other companies. Mm-hmm. Now, what does that mean? So I'm going to take the situation of, we got something new coming up that's called Go Shop America. Well, I want to extend my brand to Sika because you know why? Because Sika already has an online store. That means she already got people that are online, but they don't have TV visibility. How can we do that together and really help to build her brand and lift mine at the same time? I'm telling you, partner with other companies. The other thing you could do is co-create. I think that we have a problem as entrepreneurs collaborating with other people. Listen, what is for you is for you. So I think co-creating something or co-branding a product is really, really, really effective. And you should think about doing that. And then the last one I'm going to do, I'm going to hop over to number 5. A lot of times we try to do a workshop on our own. But what if you were to host events and mutually do that with 2 or 3 people and have them bring in their following? Then everybody gets to cross promote. So we do that on TV, y'all. I was like, I ain't the only one want to own a network. I know other people want to own a network too. That's why we came up with the Micro TV Network, where producers can become, or you don't have to be a producer, you can be anybody, can become an executive producer in a seasoned atmosphere, which means Zandra TV is a seasoned atmosphere, but you could establish your own television network, name it what you want to name it, and then go out and recruit people that are like-minded, like-spirited, to be a part of your network, and you get paid. Wow, that's another stream of income. So you have to think about, how do you want to extend your brand one to another? Now, I got to talk about this because it's just good. So I put this up here only to show you that the best situation you can have is cross-promotional opportunities. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, I talk about 50 producers, right? We have more than 50, but I'm just going to talk about 50. Those 50 producers, equal a total of 50 people, right? 50 cross-promotional opportunities. What if you were part of our world and you said, I'm going to have 50 producers post everything I have. So I'm going to tag 50 producers or tag 25 producers every time I post something, so that their following gets to see what I'm talking about. And they're doing the same thing with you. So right now, you might have maybe 3,500 followers. Let's just say you have 3,500 followers on one of the platforms. But let's say the other 50 people also have 3,500. That's 175,000 potential people that could see one post. We believe in multiplication, and that you should not be in business by yourself, but you should be in business with other people that can help promote and lift you, because that's the only way to win, y'all. Now, listen, how do I know? Because I did it. I don't talk about things I haven't done. I know that that's what lifts you. And so I call it the 50 for 50. That's what we do here. And then we multiply it so that everybody wins. All right. We are in 800 million homes, y'all. So It's not just Zandra TV. I think people be thinking, oh, it's just Zandra TV. No, Zandra TV is on Amazon, Roku, Apple, but we also have Zandra TV. We have Comcast, we have Android TV, we have Apple TV, we have Got One TV, and that gives us another Apple, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Want to connect to your city? That's another Apple, Amazon, and Roku. You know, we're on Supernatural online television that's called Soulflix in Africa. That gives us another Roku, Amazon, Apple, and satellite TV. So it's 800 million homes that we in. It's crazy, y'all. The multiplier. Everything we do it in multiplication. We are also on Hulu, but know that there are asterisks there. The reason being is because Hulu is where we can run commercials. Not only on Hulu, we could also do what we call ZTV commercials. And those ZTV commercials can be dropped on CBS, NBC, ABC, everywhere, right? But we have the ability to do that for a small business and do that with a small business price. And that's what's really important. Let's talk about exposure and conversion. So let's talk about what, exposure is. Exposure is the number of people who see your content. So remember, I just talked about multiplication. The more people that see you. So how you going to do that? You're one person. How are more people going to see you? It's just no way, y'all. And so you have to use exposure, but you have to use exposure across every digital lane. I'm going to share that with you in a moment. But let's talk about the power of conversion. Conversion, people ask this question all the time. Well, if I do a commercial on TV, how many people are going to see my commercial? And I'll be like this. Now, y'all know I ain't, look, let me put on these glasses. I'm put on my big glasses. I don't care if I put on these big glasses. I cannot see in people's homes. I can't see who watching. There's no way. See, we are conditioned to believe back in the day with cable TV, there's a little chip in that cable TV a box that you have. And what that chip does is it only records that you turn to that channel at 10 a.m. Because remember, TV has been linear all our lives. Mm-hmm. TV is no longer linear. It's not like it just come on at 10 a.m. And if I'm not there at 10 a.m., I got to set the VCR. I mean, who got a VCR? I ain't got no VCR no more. I don't need it because I can look at TV when I want to, right? So that chip said they turned the TV at that time, but even the cable company didn't know if you were watching it. I could turn the TV and go make some eggs and bacon and maybe be listening to it, but not really watching it. So that all the days of our life, exposure has been the number of people who see you. That's it. Conversion, though, is when somebody takes an action that you want them to take. That's conversion, right? So what does that really mean? That's your call to action. That's your conversion. Because what are you doing? You're trying to convert people to take an action to get into your funnel, to get into your world. And then you start to nurture them. They still ain't gonna buy from you when they take action, but you could nurture them and keep nurturing them, and they keep seeing you and keep hearing you. And then eventually they say, you know what? I need a commercial, or I need this, and I'm gonna go with Zandra TV. You see what I'm saying? I've been doing this for 8 years. I promise you, I know what I'm talking about. Exposure and conversion. It is not what you think. If you get 1,000 people to see you, I guarantee you, probably not even one of that 1,000 is going to call you immediately. That's called impulse buying. And most of the time as entrepreneurs, that ain't what we sell, right? So let's talk about digital marketing. Digital marketing, it's a digital highway, you guys. You know, when we first started, we ain't had nothing but Google and Facebook. There wasn't all this other stuff. But now you have all of these lanes, from email marketing to Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, streaming TV. I could have put Pinterest up here. I could have had 1,199 lanes. I'm serious. There's so much digital content. But at the end of the day, you have to be playing in each one of those. Now, to ask me why, because people need to see you 20 to 25 times before they might decide to do business with you. And here's what you really need to know. They can't see you on one lane. They got to see you on all the lanes, right? So I need an email marketing campaign. I need Facebook. I need YouTube. I need Instagram. I need LinkedIn. I need all that. But you also need streaming TV because that's an untapped market, y'all. Most of the time, all of these, especially the email marketing, that's the closest, right? Those are people that I've gotten into my call to action. They took the action I wanted, which is conversion, coming into my stream so that I can nurture them and take care of them. So I can talk directly to those people. But from all these other lanes, I've got to talk in a language that they understand. And the language on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn is different than maybe streaming TV. That's a whole nother audience. And so people go like, well, ain't nobody watching TV. Yes, they are. Promise me, people are watching TV. And what you don't really understand is this untapped market is the one that's going to carry your message. Hey, did you know that you could have a TV commercial? I took down the information. Call them. Did you know that might help grow your business? They're talking. They being marketers for us. So you're not even touching that market today. You got to touch that market. If you want to grow your business, you have to consider every lane on the digital highway. So if you don't consider those lanes, you slowly going to go out of business. All of this, do you understand when I tell you all of this is exposure marketing? It's not conversion, it's exposure, right? So understand that. Okay, here's the deal. Now I'm just gonna be like fully transparent. You've got to remove all your limitations. You got to remove every limitation, period. Not saying I don't want to be in the front. I'm a background person in my business. I can't, you gonna have to get on video because 82% of the internet traffic is video. You're gonna have to get on TV. And now I don't know how you're gonna get on TV. You're gonna get on TV, you're either gonna be interviewed on TV, you're in a commercial, or you're gonna become a producer or get you a micro network. You gotta do something. Because if you keep delaying, you're not going to be able to afford to do it in the next 5 years because everything is going to streaming TV. So my question to you is, do you believe that you and your business are worth great value? Either you do or you don't. And if you do, you take action, really, because if you don't take no action, ain't nothing really getting ready to happen, right? So here's what I want you to consider. Is TV really for you? And yeah, I'm talking from a TV perspective because that's my lane, y'all. I ain't gonna talk to you about, social media. It's important. I use it, but I'm talking to you about TV. So if TV is really for you, this is for you if only these 5 or one of these 5 or 2 of these 5 apply to you. You have greatness to share with the world and you need clarity on next steps, then TV's for you. This is for you if you're serious about building your brand and could use an unbiased partner to figure out your messaging and your strategy, right? Because you got to have a strategy. If you're ready to surround yourself with a group of global influencers that are making a big impact, because we already global. We ain't trying to get global. We already global. And so remember that multiplication, the 50 producers, their global audience is going to see you. Our global audience is going to see you. And then you start to build your own global audience. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because before I got on TV, I was a coach. And I didn't have one client internationally, not one. But when I got on TV and I kept working this lane, I saw a change. We have producers in Australia. We have producers in London and in the Caribbean. So that's how we became global. The next one is, this is for you if you're committed to take your brand to the next level. And then last but not least, this is for you if you're ready to invest in your brand. I wrote a book called The Power of Investing in You. And I believe that you're the most valuable asset and the true resource. And you have to invest in you. And so if you're ready to do that, we would love to talk to you further at 100 TV. So what I ask is that you get your phone out and you scan that QR code. Now, this ain't no sales technique. You know, I ain't trying to sell you nothing. We're going to give you a free 30-minute personal media consultation. So you could either copy that link down or take your phone and complete the screen. The only thing, the scan me. The only thing I need to tell you is when you schedule your meeting, there's something that says complete media assessment. Complete your media assessment. You click that link, it'll take you to the media assessment. I want you to do that because I want you to visibly realize, where am I? And then you can start filling the gap. A lot of times we don't write it and make it plain. So this is the intent, to write it and make it plain to you. Where are you at? When you have that meeting, we'll discuss possible options for greater exposure, and then you start implementing. Let me be clear with you. Some of the things that we're going to talk about won't cost you a dime. I just believe you got to do something differentially. And then whenever you have these media consultations, you enter into our drawing that we have quarterly, and we give away a press release, a TV commercial. We do a lot of different things. So knowledge is power, you all, but it's only power if you use it. If you don't use anything that I've told you today, you just gain some knowledge. It's time for you to really activate your strategy and get moving. Our tagline at Zandra TV is be heard, be seen, and grow. And what we really believe is that your visibility and brand really does matter. And it has been my pleasure to speak with you today. I am going to stop share. And if there are any questions that are burning inside, let me know.
No, this was an amazing presentation. Didn't expect anything less. I'm excited. I know you and I have already spoken about some of the ideas that I have. So I don't know if you have a Calendly or how I can schedule meetings with you to discuss that further. Or I just booked a consultation for the TV thing because I think eventually I might need a micro network. But in the meantime, just how's the best way to contact
Yeah,
you?
let me give you my discovery call link, and you could just use that. Look, I say, girl, just use that. Let me get it for you, and you'll be able to do that. Hold on, I should have had that ready. Uh, and you can book on this anytime. And this will give us 30 minutes to talk about whatever we need to talk about.
Okay.
Uh, Yeah, I'm excited too, Sika. I think that this is going to be a life-changing move,
Yes.
not only for you, but for Zandra TV as well. You know, we've been talking to so many people, and everybody that we talk about it to, girl, they are like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on, we're going to get it together. Now, listen. We working every day. We're gonna get it together. Go Shop America will be a game changer for
Hmm.
Zandra TV and for you too, Sika.
Yep.
We'll do great things together,
Yep.
um, and really provide global visibility the way it needs to be provided. So we're excited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I am so excited that I showed up today, even looking like I've been stung by bees.
Mhm.
I look this way. What is it? What is your
Sika.
first name? See,
Sika.
Yes.
I fell yesterday on my face. So that's why my
Oh,
eyes are getting black and my lips look like I've had a bad lip injection. I
mm-mm.
look like, what is her name? Carly Jenner, whatever her name is, with those bad lips. But I am glad that I am a part of the Producers Academy because I believe and I know that once I get all my ducks in a row and I have so much stuff going around in my brain that I
Mhm.
need to get on the right track, and I understand because I've been looking at now I'm on I look at TikTok, I look at that other thing, whatever that I'm looking at all of them. And when I seen the highway of ways to, get out there, get your brand out there, it makes sense. It makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
When it also makes sense to me that you partner with someone else. In the world that I come from, public health, when I would write new programs and we needed women to serve, we would go say, hey, we would look to see what they needed and we would piggyback on them. So I get that. It made sense. And when you said the what I wrote it down.
Cross promotion.
Cross promotion. Well, since I'm so science geared, it's just cross pollination.
That's all it is.
That's
Yep.
all it is.
It's
It's
this here right
cross
here.
pollination.
Yeah.
And when you get that cross pollination, that pollen, when that wind blows, it's going to cross over.
Yeah.
So if I'm a little excited, it sounds like I'm a lot excited because I'm excited to go into the next step of my adventure in life. And I
Mhm.
know this is where I need to be in order to get to what I want to do. Really, when you said I don't want to be in front of TV, well, in order for me to, and that's how I was feeling until today,
Yeah.
until Zandra made me realize that if you're going to be in front of TV, that means that you can do other things with their same content.
Mhm.
And I want to do podcasting. And I know that if I'm in front of TV and people see me, then they're going to go to my podcast.
Right.
Yeah, because we can
So,
strip that audio from that TV show and put it on your podcast.
Mhm.
right.
So you're
Okay.
killing two birds with one stone.
Mm-hmm.
We working too hard. Get your TV show, strip the audio, put the audio out on your audio cast, and it's all good.
It's
It's
all
all
good.
good. I
And
mean,
so,
this is I'm telling y'all, and so it's just us on here. I guess I could stop recording, but I don't care if it's on here. Let me I want to see if I can show you something. Let y'all hear something. But John have this. Hold on. I was trying to show y'all something because I want to show you. Um, but here's the thing. Yeah, here it is. So hold on. Of course, it ain't gonna act right. Let me see if it can reload. There we go. So I'm gonna share my screen with y'all because I want to show you how I've taken my shows. Like, let me tell y'all what I don't do. And I know we ain't even over yet. But I don't do anything that I don't try myself. Cause see, it's silly. It's silly for me to be out here going like, "Oh yeah, you," and then, well, have you done it? No, I ain't did it. Now that sounds silly. That's stupid to me. I ain't gonna be the stupid one. I'm like, no,
Right.
I need to do it because I need to show you the model. I don't want to just talk about. I want to be about it. And
Right.
so that's what really makes us different. But we as Black women, I'm gonna say this on this call because it's all that's on here. For the first time in history, we have this situation in the palm of our hands.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
own it. Can't nobody shut us down. And
Right.
we focused on rising up our people.
Yeah.
We have to be out here. This is a crusade that we own. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Own your own shopping network. Own your own.
Yes.
Don't
Yep.
stop. We stopping this. This how you stop it. One step at a time, y'all. But I want to show y'all because I just need to show y'all what we got because I think people don't recognize. So let me share my screen and then I'm gonna show you escape. Okay, let me go to here it is. Okay. Let me see if I can redo the repurpose. Okay. This is my job.
Have you ever walked out of a sales call and knew that you blew it? Well, today Jane Namey's gonna give you some techniques to help you earn that sale. Enjoy the show.
I totally agree. And here's why. One of the things that you cannot buy is how someone legit.
But do you see?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know that's on TV, y'all. And I
Mm-hmm.
strip the audio, got a little movement in me, and that's my podcast. I got a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same content that's on my TV channel. I ain't playing with this thing. Do one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Smart. We have to be, I promise you, we smarter. We're smarter. Sika, we're smarter than them.
Yes, ma'am. We are.
And we always have been.
And always have been.
You understand? But
Always
we
have.
don't know how to come together
Yep.
and take our energy.
And put it together.
You
Yep.
understand? Because girl, when it start churning, it's something powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to be. I want to be the example that people see. This is real.
Mm-hmm.
That Santi Awards, people think, listen, you know why I'm doing Santi? Because it's going to be the Emmys of Dallas. It will be. It ain't today. But I can draw in people like a Sir. I can draw in Christopher Plumley. We can draw in what we need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It will be socialized, and it will be the award of the awards. And it's already starting that way because that room was packed. We was hot as fire. Glenda, good you wasn't here, baby. We was fanning because the air conditioner stopped working.
I wouldn't have cared, but I wouldn't have cared. This too, it's still infected.
It is.
And he won't even take I don't know who my dentist is, but I'm kind of mad at it, but I'm not. But he says he'll finally take care of it on the 16th. He said, because the infection is gone. It was really, really infected bad because it had gone up in my sinus area.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It
Well,
was
I tell you what, that's what we're going to do. We have to socialize everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Brand it and socialize it and make it right. You know what I'm saying? But we are smart people. We're smart women. We have the ability to do anything that we want to do. But it does take hard work. It takes us being persistent and consistent. But we could do anything. No backbiting, no look.
No, none of that.
50. I got 60 producers, but I'm saying just 50.
Yeah.
Every post can go to 175,000 people. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And you're able to quantify that as right.
Everybody's got their own following. Everybody got their own following. So whoever sees it, I'm not saying that all 3,500 will see it, but
I get it.
That's the potential. But here's the thing: we just use what we have in our hands. You already have it. So I'm trying to teach the producers how to use what you have in your hands. You already had these TV shows that create your podcast.
Right.
Strip your audio. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it for me, y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
And I'm going to I need to have an audience with you as well.
Our audience?
A meeting. I'm sorry. You know what?
Okay, schedule it anytime.
I'll schedule you. I'm going to go and schedule a meeting.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, Sika, thank you for coming. Let's get back on the calendar now that I'm finished taping. And I tell y'all, this new show, Meet Me in the Boardroom. Oh my. 8 powerful Black people came together in a boardroom setting. Let's see if I can just show y'all a picture. But if you go out on Facebook,
I seen you on Facebook already.
Girl, when I said this is a powerful 8 people.
Yes, it is.
In a boardroom. Do you understand me? They ain't the only one know how to run a board meeting. We weren't a board meeting for Jesus.
Amen.
Pulling heaven and earth.
Yes.
Okay, I'm done. You see, I can get excited and go on and preach because Lee Deli is my mama. Anyhow, that was my mom's name. Oh my goodness. Sika, thank you. Glenda, thank you. Feel better. Take care of yourself. We love you. We adore you. And the same for you, Sika. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.